Hello, family. You see, we are all passerbys in this world, and everything we have is temporal, and nobody can determine exactly how long it will last. There are people who build the best mansions, but because of earthquake, everything was swept away. There were people who have businesses that were worth billions, but because of one incident, the business crumbled. There are people who had an amazing popularity, an amazing power, amazing influence. Anywhere they go, doors just open for them. But because of one thing or the other, they are in prison. So, what I want to let us understand is most of the time we are the problem because we hold on to things that we ought not to hold on to. Listen, you are not entitled to your position for life. You are not entitled to your job for life. You are not entitled to your title for life. So most of the time, we hold on to things that are temporal and we are not supposed to hold on to. First of all, as a human being, you need to understand that you have no right over anything on earth. Even your own life, you don't have right over. And that's why God will snatch it from you the time He deems it fit. Even if you've built a house, the day you are entering the house, and God deems it fit to take you, He will. And He will not ask anybody permission. But we hold on to things that are not even necessary. And if you want to live a life of gratitude, you want to live a life of fulfillment, a life of purpose, you need to learn to align with God's will. And you need to learn to accept anything that happens to you with good faith. And learn from the incident, be it good or bad, and improve. Let us go with some few examples. Look at our legend Samuel Eto'o. He was exceptional in Barcelona. Yet the coach of Barcelona at the time, Pep Guardiola, decided to sell him, even though he had exceptional performance. He was just from winning the Champions League with them, winning treble with Barcelona. But the coach of Barcelona decided to sell him, not just to sell him, but to add money on top of him to bring Zlatan Ibrahimovic, while Eto'o was sold to Inter Milan. But he didn't make an issue out of it. He accepted the situation with gratitude. And guess what? He went to Inter Milan the next season, and they were the ones who eliminated Barcelona in Champions League. And they went ahead to win the Champions League. And Eto'o went ahead to win treble with Inter Milan. And today, our legend Samuel Eto'o is the only football player in the world to have won treble back to back with two different clubs. And that did not just end there. After his illustrious career in Inter Milan, he went to Angie Macascala, and he was the highest paid player in Angie Macascala. The highest paid player ahead of Cristiano Ronaldo, Lionel Messi. Just imagine that he remained in Barcelona. Do you think he would have achieved those milestones? Just imagine that he started agitating. No, you are selling me against my wish. I want to remain in Barcelona. I have created history in Barcelona. I was once a Pichichi in Barcelona. I want to remain in Barcelona. He calmed down. He took everything in good faith. And there was one statement he made that Pep Guardiola would beg him. And today, he's not just a legend in the pitch, even out of the pitch. He's a super legend. Look at our brother Francis Ngannou. After winning one of his best fight in the UFC, the fight that made him to come to the limelight, he wasn't satisfied with the treatment he was getting in UFC. And he laid his points and he said, okay, I want you to adjust this, I want you to adjust this. They refused. Oh, they did some few adjustments, but it was not up to his satisfaction. What did he do? After his contract expired, he refused to renew his contract. And people started calling him all sorts of names. It's unrealistic. Guess what? His new contract was far bigger. And today he's a global icon. He's a legend. And his paycheck is far bigger. The working environment, working condition is far better. Just imagine that UFC was not treating him bad. He wouldn't have achieved these milestones. Let's go to the Bible. Look at Joseph. He was sold by his brothers for slavery. He went to Potiphar's house. Potiphar's wife accused him falsely of rape. and he was sent to prison. And in prison, he had connection. He came in contact with one of the workers of the king who was in prison at the time. At the end of it all, he became a king. Imagine his brother never sold him for slavery. Imagine Potiphar's wife didn't accuse him falsely. Imagine him not going to prison. Would he have become a king? Look at our brother David. The father sent him to the war front. Do you know what it means for you to send your child who is not a soldier, who does not have experience in war, at the war front to go and give his brothers food? If it was another child, would have said, "No, daddy, I'm not going. It's very risky. What if somebody killed me?" But what? He went as a child at the war front just to give food and not to fight. But he came back as a hero because he defeated Goliath. Look at Abraham in the Bible. The Lord told Abraham, leave everything behind. Leave the people you've known, leave what you've done, leave your father's compound, leave your father's village, leave your father's community, and go to a strange land that I will show you and start life afresh. Abraham didn't complain. He left. And today he is the father of all nations. Look at our brother David again. When David slept with Uriah's wife, and David had to connive to take Uriah's life because he wanted to cover up the situation. Now, the wife of Uriah was pregnant, and God told David that because of what you have done, I will take this child. David thought he could change God's mind. He started mourning. When the child was sick, he was mourning. He put on ashes all over his body. But the day the child died, David started celebrating. And guess what? God compensated David back with Solomon. And today, Solomon is the richest person that ever lived. And Solomon is the wisest person that ever lived. Now, what I want you to understand is, always receive whatever God does to you with gratitude. The Bible says, before you were formed in your mother's womb, I knew you. The Bible says, the plans I have for you are not of evil, but are of good. Never you dictate to God. Never you force God. Just align to God's will. Accept God's plan in your life, and you'll be a far better person. For the fact that you are going through challenges, you are going through circumstances, you are going through things that you are not the cause, doesn't mean it has ended, and it doesn't mean God has forgotten about you. God is preparing something big for you. Just be humble, just be grateful, and do the needful. God will handle the rest. God bless us all.